afternoon, everybody. Welcome to this meeting of the Licensing Act 2003 Subcommittee. I am Councillor Harper, the appointed chairman, and the other subcommittee members are Councillor Sangwood to my right and Councillor Wiggin to his right. I would like to inform those present of the following San Martin House fire procedures. In the event of an evacuation alarm sounding, all persons should vacate the building by way of the nearest available exit and proceed directly to the assembly point in Charles Swift Square in front of the multi-storey car park. Before we start the meeting, please can I remind everyone that this is a meeting held in public and that the audio recording may be made available on the website in due course. Members are reminded to ensure that they can be clearly heard through the microphone system when speaking, and remember to turn off your microphone at the conclusion of your contribution. Can everyone present please ensure mobile phones are switched off or put to silent. We are here to hold a hearing for the application for a new premises licence in relation to Londis Indigo, Unit B, 26 Northminster, Peterborough, PE1 1YN, made by Mr. Muthgukama Radhak Rishan. Good enough? Yeah. Dave. Yeah, okay, thank you, sir. Could I ask then the Democratic Service Officer to provide any apologies for absence, please?
Thank you, Chair. There are no apologies for absence.
Thank you. Members, do you have any declarations of interest to make in relation to any of the items on the agenda? Nothing? Thank you. Okay. Could I then go to the applicant and everyone making representations to make sure you have received a copy of the agenda and reports? All good?
Yes, Chair.
Yes, all good.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'll now invite everybody present to introduce themselves and their role at the meeting. So I'll go to my left, please.
Thank you. I'm Karen Dunleavy, supporting Democratic Services.
Colin Miles, Legal Services.
Councillor Chris Harper, the chair.
Richard Strangwater, City Councillor.
Chris Wiggin, City Councillor.
Maria Cray, Regulatory Officer in Licensing.
I'm Patrick Burt from P&B Licensing, and this is my client, Muthu.
Muthu, Director of NKVSD, and I am the shop owner.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.
We've also got a colleague of Muthu's who's just come here to support him. He'll be helping him out.
Okay, that's fine. Would you mind just turning your mic off?
Day-to-day operation.
That's it? Perfect. Okay, everybody. Could I inform you, please, that this hearing is a formal meeting of the Council and that all relevant rules and procedures will apply. All questions, comments, statements must be addressed through me as your chairman, and that there will be no direct cross-examination by any person of any other person. That evidence that is not relevant to these proceedings or the licensing objectives under which representations have been made will not be permitted. Okay. Following the Regulatory Officer's presentation, yourselves, the applicant and representative, will present your case, followed by responsible authorities, ward councillors, any other persons, and the subcommittee will have the opportunity to ask questions after each presentation. At this point then I will ask the Regulatory Officer please to present your report.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Members of the committee are asked to consider an application for a new premises licence submitted by the applicant in respect of Londis Indigo, located at Unit B, 26 Northminster in Peterborough. 2 representations have been received in relation to this application from members of the public, submitted in their capacity as other persons. No representations have been received by any of the responsible authorities, so this includes Cambridgeshire Constabulary, the Council's pollution team and Cambridgeshire Fire and Rescue. As all parties have had the opportunity to read the committee report, I do not propose to go through it in detail. Instead, I will highlight the key aspects of the application for members' attention. Paragraph 3 of the report sets out the licensable activities and hours originally applied for. In summary, the application sought permission for off-sales of alcohol and late-night refreshment during the following times. So sale of alcohol, Monday to Sunday, 24 hours, and late-night refreshment, Monday to Sunday, 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. Following mediation with Cambridgeshire Constabulary, as set out in Section 6 of the report, the applicant has agreed to amend the application. The hours for the sale of alcohol have been reduced, and alcohol will now only be sold between 600 hours and 200 hours daily. The applicant has also agreed to a further 3 conditions, which can also be seen in section 6 of the report. Chair, unless I can be of any further assistance, I invite you to commence the hearing so that members may consider the representations received and determine the application, taking such steps as are appropriate and proportionate to promote the licensing objectives.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. The applicant, Mr. Muthukuma Radhak Rishan Nam. It's a good one. Can I call you Mutka? Mutka. Okay, well done. And the applicant's representative, Mr. Patrick Burke. Yes, to present your case, please.
Thank you. I'll just give you a little bit of background. This is currently an empty store and it's part of a new development. Mutu plans to open a general store selling alcohol alongside other products available with the support of the Londis group. Although this is Mutu's first business, he has the support of his friend Kumar, who has a multitude of Londis and Budgeon stores nationwide, and who will provide him with experienced and trained staff to assist for a minimum of the first 6 months. So this is his first business, but Kumar's guided him through up to today and will carry on. And I actually know Kumar personally. My son actually works for him in one of his stores, so I know the standards that he works to. And my son moved from. I'm from West Midlands, and my son was working for him in a store in Stourbridge, and moved up to Manchester, and still had to do the initial training, even though he'd done the same thing in Stourbridge. So when he moved from Stourbridge to Manchester, because he's moved up there to uni, he still had to do the training again because he'd gone to a new store. So I know the standards that he works to, and they're very, very high. As has already been stated, we agreed. The only concerns initially were from Cambridge Police, and I think their concerns was the fact that only about 30 feet from this premises is a nightclub that's licensed till 3 o'clock, which is why we've agreed to reduce the hours. That was their initial. There's no other objections from any of the other responsible authorities. I actually emailed through the licensing authority the 2 objectors, and to date have had no response to that. I emailed them all of the conditions that were submitted and the conditions that had been agreed with Cambridge Police, and explained in the email the process of the application. And as I say, had no response from it. The letters to me seem to be identically written anyway. So the representation 1 expresses concerns of public nuisance, including noise from customers gathering outside the premises late at night, increased risk of antisocial behaviour and crime associated with late night alcohol sales, disturbance to residents, families and children living in the building and nearby properties, littering and loitering around the premises during late hours. This is a new development, and there's no evidence to support any of those concerns. And as I say, there's actually a nightclub licensed till 3 o'clock, about 30 yards from there. While Mutu has limited experience, Kumar and his staff have had a wealth of experience with this type of business and these hours. Kumar has 23 other similar businesses to this, 13 of which are licensed 24 hours, and he hasn't had any issues in any of his premises. And with regards to the objections, I draw your attention to the case of Thwaites v Wirral. The case in the High Court has emphasised the principles laid down by the Licensing Act 2003 and its accompanying guidance, section 182, that there should be a light touch bureaucracy applied to applications and variations for licences, and that restrictions should only be attached to premises licences if they're necessary to promote the licensing objectives. It also highlights the fact that decisions on applications should be based on evidence and not based on speculation. And it's our application that the letters of representation submitted to the licensing authority, as in the case of Thwaites v Wirral, are speculative in content, and if the authority gave weight to these speculative opinions, it would in fact fail to follow section 182 and its own guidance of licensing policy. Would invite you to ask any questions, and then I'll sum up at the end.
Okay.
If you're happy with that.
Yeah, if you're happy. Okay, so committee members, have any questions at all? Okay, Councillor Wiggin.
Thank you, Chair, and I'd like to thank you for your presentation. I wanted to ask about the litter. Obviously, that's one of the concerns raised in the objections. Just wanted some clarification on what your approach would have to be. How many bins would be seen to be adequate?
It's very difficult to put a number on that in an application. We have in the application we have stated that adequate bins will be available for customers to dispose of litter. It's very difficult to put a number on that until the business is up and running. But whatever number he starts off with, he will add to if needed. You know, it's obviously very important for him, you know, to present his business to the public. So he's going to have people keeping the front of the premises clean, because he wants it to be inviting. He wants people to come in. Obviously, with a new business, you want people to come in and have a look around and make sure it's all presentable. So it's in his interest, just as much as anybody else's, to make sure there are adequate bins and that the frontage is kept clean throughout the day and the night.
Okay, thank you. Anything further? Happy with that? No? You don't have anything now? No, I have nothing further to it. So as you suggested you'd like to, could you then please sum up, Mr. Burke?
Yeah. There are 2 letters of objection to this application. The objectors have been contacted and have had no response to either the contact from the council or contact from myself. There are 350 flats at the rear of this business. So there are potentially in excess of 800 local residents directly close to this business who had no comments to make. Mutu has a community of friends who assist in the running of the business, and as I say, Kumar has a wealth of experience in this business with 23 businesses throughout the country. And as I've said before, my son's at Manchester University and works for him, and it's initially for my son to be going off to Manchester from Stourbridge was a big thing, and to trust him with somebody to work for is a big thing for a parent. So, you know, I know the standards that this guy works with, and I know that he's going to be the right guide for Mutu moving forward with this business. I know there would be concerns with regards to the hours, but you know, it's a new business. He doesn't really know whether he's going to use all of those hours, but he just wants the opportunity to give it a try. And as I say, there's potentially 800 just local residents that could have objected to this, and we've had 2.
Okay.
And you know, the other thing is, it's going to create business. It's going to create jobs in the area. It's going to create business in the area, and it's a very, very brave thing to do to be opening up a new business in today's climate, I think.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Burke. Thank you very much. Okay. So the subcommittee will now retire to make its decision. Thank you. committee meets today to hear an application for a new premises licence for Londis Indigo Unit B 26 Northminster, Peterborough. The applicant is Muthukuma Radhak Rishnan and is represented by Patrick Burke of PMB Licensing. The applicant wishes to sell alcohol off the premises and provide late night refreshment. After mediation, the timings for the sale of alcohol are Monday through Sunday from 0600 till 0200 hours, and for the provision of late night refreshment Monday through to Sunday from 2300 hours to 0500 hours. There are two representations against the licence being granted from other persons. These representations can be found on pages 33 to 36 of the committee bundle. The representations relate to the following licensing objectives: prevention of public nuisance, and other concerns are noise from people gathering outside the premises, risk of antisocial behaviour, and littering. Those objecting to the grant are not in attendance. The committee notes that none of the statutory responsible authorities have made representations against the grant. After mediation, additional conditions have been agreed by the participant. These are no single cans or bottles of beers or ciders to be sold, no stocks of or sales of beers, lagers and ciders, including perries, in excess of 6.5% ABV except craft beers. The licence holder will ensure that all alcohol products sold will have the individual labels and stickers detailing the shop's name and address secured on the outer side of the vessel/container. We have read the committee papers and heard from the applicant in person. The applicant states, in support of the application, friends who operate similar businesses at multiple sites will assist for the first 6 months. New development, so no history of issues. Close to a nightclub that closes at 3 AM. No response from the two objectors. Possible high population density in immediate area, but only 2 objections. Job creation. We have disregarded any matters that do not relate to licensing objectives and those that fall outside the committee's remit. In our deliberations, we have referred to Peterborough City Council's Statement of Licensing Policy, the government guidance issued under Section 182 of the Licensing Act 2003, the need to promote growth and deliver economic benefits. Where relevant representations have been made, we can take one or more of the following steps to promote the licensing objectives. Grant the licence as submitted, subject to the operating schedule, mandatory conditions and any negotiated conditions. Add, amend, alter or delete a condition in the operating schedule. Refuse to grant the licence or a licensable activity. The decision. We consider the operating schedule to be sufficient in promoting the licensing objectives, therefore we grant the licence as amended by mediation. If any person is aggrieved with this decision, they have 21 days from today to appeal to the Magistrates' Court sitting in Peterborough. There is usually